Today's video is brought to you by Gulag, the new cinematic album from streammusic.gg. If you're a content creator and you want to elevate your live streams or the videos that you're posting on the internet and you need background music and you don't want to pay for it, just check out the link in the description down below. Copyright free, zero cost, no signups required. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Ango, and yes, we have a big news video today, and I'm super excited about this one because all of the stories are going to intertwine, so let's just kind of jump into it. I want to start things off by talking about the Royal Rumble. Yes, the Royal Rumble. Now, you might be wondering, why do I want to talk about the Royal Rumble? Well, it appears for the first time in history, the Royal Rumble could be reaching a $5 million gate, which would actually be the largest in history. Now, this is not a shocker whatsoever to me. WWE is about to make history with one of the 4 big pay-per-views, and I think this has a direct correlation to the wonderful booking that Triple H has been doing as part of Head of Creative. Now, ever since Triple H took over, there has been a renewed interest in the WWE product, and I'm just going to say it, okay? I'm going to say it. He's doing a wonderful job. Is it perfect? No, it's not. There's no such thing as perfection, but the one thing that Triple H keeps doing is getting people intrigued by the product. And some days, SmackDown is better than Raw, and on other days, Raw is better than SmackDown. But as it stands, Triple H has reignited the fans' interest in the product. Now, why does it matter for the Royal Rumble? Well, if there's ever a night where the WWE is going to have big surprises, it's typically the Royal Rumble. Now, one thing that I find to be incredibly interesting is years ago, Vince McMahon was going to do the Royal Rumble with Forbidden Door entrance going into the men's match, and this was largely due to the fact that Vince McMahon had brought Mickie James in from Impact Wrestling. If you guys remember that, we saw the Knockouts title on WWE programming. Mickie James was announced as an Impact talent, and Vince McMahon actually believed, hey, if we're going to do this for the Women's Rumble, we should do something for the Men's Rumble. Now, nonetheless, WWE presented some options to Vince McMahon, and Vince McMahon just wasn't familiar with them. He wasn't sure what the explosion was going to be behind it. Was there going to be a big pop? Would it be silence? There was a lot of stuff that Vince McMahon was uncertain of, and therefore he decided not to do it. Now, with WWE making tremendous history with this event, obviously with Triple H loving the idea to surprise fans and get people excited and get people talking, it appears to me that this Royal Rumble is going to be a very significant one, and it could very well change the course of the next several years. Now, this is a wild prediction, and I'm going to look into this, but I believe that Triple H, Shinsuke Nakamura is going to Pro Wrestling Noah to fight against the Great Muta. There's a good chance that maybe, just maybe, I don't know, I'm just putting it out there, maybe WWE, Triple H kind of, brings in somebody very special for this Royal Rumble. Nonetheless, it's a massive history-breaking Royal Rumble event, and we're just a few months away. I'm super excited about that. Now, speaking of the Royal Rumble, a lot of people are wondering who are some of these possible surprise entrants. Now, here is where we bring in Cody Rhodes, and the reason why I want to talk about Cody Rhodes, guys, Brandy Rhodes was with Steve Fall from 10 Count, and, she has this new podcast, she's doing a lot of stuff, content, I mean, she's absolutely killing it these days. Now, Brandy Rhodes is, she's talking about Cody Rhodes, and, she says that Cody Rhodes looks ready. Okay, now, WWE has been airing these vignettes for Cody Rhodes at the pay-per-views. Depending on the version of Peacock that you have, whether you have the one with ads or not, you may or may not have seen them. But WWE is producing these video packages. Brandy Rhodes says she's not a doctor, but he looks ready. You have to wonder, what is WWE's plan to bring in Cody Rhodes? And there's obviously a lot of different ways you could bring him in. I believe that Cody Rhodes, if cleared, will be a surprise in the Royal Rumble. And truth be told, I think it's the thing that makes sense. In fact, I would go as far as saying Cody Rhodes should be the guy that wins the Royal Rumble. It's going to be very interesting to see how this happens, though, because if I ideally was booking the Royal Rumble, and if I was booking WrestleMania, I would have The Rock versus Roman Reigns for one championship on the first night, and I would have Cody Rhodes for the other championship against Roman Reigns the second night. And this way, Roman Reigns can retain one title belt and lose the other title belt on day 2. Roman Reigns beats The Rock. Great. Now the champ is doing double duty 2 days in a row. It justifies him losing against Cody Rhodes. Personally speaking, that's how I would book it. Then you book both of the belts away from each other. They're de-unified. Roman Reigns still gets to hold the belt, which then you could set up a program for him to lose at SummerSlam or whatever you want to do. And then this way you have Cody Rhodes going back to Raw, maybe with the WWE Championship or Universal Championship, however you want to go about it. I want to see Cody Rhodes win the Royal Rumble. I want to see him win one of the World Championship belts, and you can do this. It's all justifiable, and it's all logical, and there doesn't seem to be an issue with that. If Cody Rhodes comes back at the Royal Rumble, if he comes back at the Royal Rumble, guys, I think Cody Rhodes needs to be number 30. That's what I'm going to say. I think he should be number 30. I like when things aren't necessarily leaked all the time when it comes to Royal Rumble. Let's make it look like Cody Rhodes is still out. And then that way we get the legitimate surprise. That's what I would do. That's how I'd book it. Do you guys agree, disagree? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Guys, we got to keep talking about the Royal Rumble, though. It's a major trend today, and the reason why is because Andrade could very well be gone from AEW. Now, it's incredibly strange when talking about Andrade and AEW. If you follow this channel, you know I am not too thrilled with the way AEW has booked Miro or Andrade. Two guys that I felt like should have been able to walk into AEW without a championship belt and literally become a world champion in AEW. And, you know, the strange thing is Andrade has found himself in a funny situation with AEW. And I got to give AEW props here because not everybody understands here. Is AEW working the fans? And this is a legitimate possibility because AEW likes to blur the lines from what's real and what's fake. Also, at the same time, too, Tony Khan can never comment on a goddamn thing. We know this, right? We know because we watch these media scrums and interviews, and Tony Khan says, well, I can't comment on that, but let's talk about this great match that we have, right? Like, it's just the way it is, right? Andrade goes on Instagram. He posts a picture from AEW with him holding his entrance mask. The caption reads, I just want to say thank you. Bye. A lot of people are speculating that Andrade has been released from the company. A lot of people believe that Andrade has not re-signed with the company. Nobody knows what is happening with Andrade's contract status, but we knew that he was reportedly suspended from the company. I take these reports with a grain of salt. Anytime there's talks about an AEW suspension, now anytime there's talks about an AEW star being unhappy and wanting out, I take it with a grain of salt. And the reason why is because it seems to be very closed off to the public, these details. Nonetheless, Tony Khan at the Full Gear Media Scrum was talking to the fans, and he was asked about Miro and Andrade not being on television. And Tony Khan says, you've seen people take some sabbaticals, absences, breaks from AEW for various reasons, and then come back and get very involved. And I think that's still, for both of those guys, something that you can see. Now Andrade's post comes after the fact. Has Andrade been released from the company? Has Andrade left the company? What is the situation here? My guess is that Andrade is still with AEW and they are working the fans. I believe everything that we've heard and read about Andrade backstage, we saw what they were doing with Rampage. They were trying to turn up the rumors a little bit for him versus Preston Vance. I just have a very strong feeling that Andrade is going to be sticking around. But in the event that he's not, Triple H, Royal Rumble, make it happen. Let me know what you guys think down below.